We are at Air Cargo India, and with me today is Martin Drew, Senior Vice President Sales and Cargo, Etihad Aviation Group. Martin, thanks. It's good to have you join us in this interview at Air Cargo India 2022. Let's start with taking a look at the exceptional revenue growth of 49% in 2021, and how does 2022 look like?
First of all, it's great to be here, and I have to say what an incredible event it's been thus far. It's really good to see people getting back now into in-person events, us getting back to some normality, and the event has been a huge success. There's no doubt about that. So yes, in terms of Etihad Cargo, our performance in 21 was exceptional, record-breaking. As you said, we grew our revenues by 49% year on year. We achieved 730,000 tons, which was our highest tonnage since 2017. And without doubt, cargo was a lifeline for Etihad. So the passenger business had a very tough year in 21, but cargo really made a huge difference. Ultimately, it was 62% of our overall revenues. So a massive contribution on the part of cargo. And 22 has really started in a similar vein. Started off really strong for cargo, but what's really encouraging now is we're starting to see the passenger business bounce back, and it's bouncing back quickly and a lot stronger than maybe a lot predicted. Our seat load factor on the passenger side is sort of low 80% now, but cargo continues to be very strong as well from a yield perspective, and in terms of sort of key trade lanes really performing very well.
How much of your belly cargo capacity is back into operation now?
So we're back now about 90% in terms of destinations. However, overall belly capacity is probably around about sort of 65% versus 2019. But the focus for this year is really starting to ramp that capacity back up. Really sort of on the existing routes, looking to see how we increase frequency, and of course continuing to operate the 5777 freighters as well. Ensuring that that's complementing the passenger network. But we're back up there now in terms of actual destinations. And as I said, sort of with passenger demand returning at the pace it is, it's important that we continue to sort of to grow the network. But we very much now go back into growth mode, where we have a number of more wide-bodied aircraft coming through this year. In terms of new deliveries. And then also, of course, we've got some exciting developments as relates to sort of freighters going forwards as well.
Let's talk about your product. I think there has been, in the last 2 years, there's been quite a lot of significant refinement of your product and services, and particularly on the healthcare temperature controlled. Take us through some of the enhancement in your product.
I suppose the thing of real note as relates to our focus sort of development as relates to pharma was the creation of the HOPE Consortium that was created in November 20, an initiative that was led by the Abu Dhabi Department of Health and brings together various sort of Abu Dhabi stakeholders, including Etihad, and basically with a vision to create Abu Dhabi as a hub for pharmaceuticals and life sciences. The focus was very much on the global distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine, and I think it's a great illustration of the strength of partnerships and how important partnerships are, and I think that's really come to the fore during the pandemic. To date, we've carried many hundred millions of doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. That continues to be a key focus for us, but now what we're now looking as well is beyond that. As I said, really creating Abu Dhabi as this hub for life sciences and pharmaceuticals, but also as well looking to see how we support sort of various markets in terms of sort of even with medical staff, with sort of providing sort of the vaccines, and it's become a real broad sort of partnership, and us now entering into various partnerships around the globe as well. So that's been a huge success for us and has really helped us grow our pharma business. In addition to that, we're investing in terms of the improving the infrastructure in Abu Dhabi for the handling of pharmaceuticals, and we're just about in the next couple of months we'll open a new pharmaceutical facility in Abu Dhabi as well. So that's really going to strengthen our capabilities even more. But pharma for us has been a real focus area, and obviously where there was this huge need in terms of the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine, it's been we've been incredibly proud to be part of the HOPE Consortium and to have done our part to help sort of distribute the vaccine around the world.
Besides pharma and healthcare, the other product vertical or a sector that actually, or a business that has actually been talked about, is the e-commerce and the cargo volume that comes from the cross-border e-commerce through the e-retail channels. How significant is e-commerce as a part of your business?
Yeah, I mean, very significant. Obviously, the growth that we've seen in terms of e-com during the pandemic has been exceptional. It was growing at quite a pace, even sort of pre-COVID. But as we know, the pandemic has accelerated that growth tremendously as as a result of people's shopping behaviours changing, people being in lockdown, so many people now buying online. And of course, that's become an even bigger part of our business now. We've now brought in a lot of e-com expertise to help us really further define and develop our e-com product. The pricing for e-com is usually pretty sharp, but what it does do is form a good base load. And, that's obviously, this is something that's going to continue to grow. So it's something that we need to continue to focus on and really develop and refine the product that we're offering in terms of that space. Again, when we talk about the improvements that we're going to make with the infrastructure in Abu Dhabi, in terms of improving our capabilities of handling e-com as well, is going to be a key element in that planning in terms of the development of the new infrastructure.
Martin, we keep hearing about the cargo carried in the bellies and the cargo carried in the main deck, and the proportion is about 60-40, 50-50. For Etihad going forward, what would be the kind of proportion of cargo that is carried in the belly? Think about that normal times come back. What would be the proportion?
So that, I suppose, it was always that 50-50 split, wasn't it? Before, during the pandemic, it was adjusted to sort of 70-30 for us in terms of 70% in freighter because of that reduction that we saw in belly capacity. What we're now starting to see is that balance be corrected or reverting back to what it originally was as a result of more belly capacity being operated. However, we've got a bit of an internal battle going on now because of the return of passenger demand, us carrying a lot more passengers, therefore a lot more baggage. Of course, that eats into the belly capacity that's available for cargo. At the moment, that sort of split is around about 60-40, so we are seeing it come back to those pre-COVID levels. Another thing that we've seen as well is with the operation of cargo in cabin sort of aircraft as well. Obviously, that altered the mix, but of course, we now start to see those sort of type of operations being phased out. But I think sort of going forwards, we'll probably, we'll get closer to that 50-50, but I think it's going to average around about 60-40 with the mix of aircraft we're going to be operating.
Do you still operate any aircraft with cargo in cabin?
We do, but we are phasing them out. So we had 5 777-300 ERs that we removed the seats, so cargo in cabin operations. We were pretty late to the party with this type of operation. And the reason being is early on in the pandemic, we opted to carry out a huge maintenance program, basically refurbing all the interiors of our aircraft to ensure that when they returned to service, that they were like brand new aircraft. So early on, when we then said, okay, we want to remove seats on these aircraft and load cargo in them, there was a bit of resistance. However, when we got to the end of 2020, there was a debate, look, we need to do this now. And of course, there was a concern in that, have we missed the boat with this type of opera? How much life is still left in this? And we took the risk. We did it. We converted 5. And in 21, we generated over $300 million of revenue with those type of operations. However, I think the life now of that type of operation is coming to an end, certainly for Etihad, where we've seen huge return of passenger demand. We now desperately need more passenger wide-body capacity. So we're now in the process of converting these aircraft back. 4 have already been converted back. The last one goes into the hangar next month. We also, as well, of course, there's regulatory limitations with this type of operation, the EASA 2,000 flight hour limitation, and we've basically reached that limit now as well, which meant we would have had to convert these aircraft back now. But without any shadow of a doubt, it added a huge amount of value to our network offering. It meant that we could continue to deploy a lot of capacity on key trade lanes.
Martin, let's talk about main deck capacity and freighters, and I think you have a significant interest in the freighter operations. The importance and strategic role that main deck capacity plays for shippers at a time when the demand is really high and access to main deck capacity for a long term is really a struggle. How important is access to main deck capacity of freighters to global air cargo industry?
Yeah, I mean, look, freighters have become even more of a valuable asset as a result of what we've witnessed in the pandemic, and obviously the amount of belly capacity that came out of the market. And I think there's going to be obviously this continuing need for main deck capacity. For us, we're operating 5 777 LRFs. These aircraft, we've been flying them 17.5 hours on average per day. So really flying them hard. Having that main deck capability is key. The freighters very much complement our passenger network in terms of our belly space. They work hand in hand together, and that's obviously cargo that we can transfer from belly to freighter and freighter to belly in terms of lower deck. But having that main deck capability is key to be able to, it's the main deck business that actually attracts a premium. So that really helps in terms of the overall economics of operating freighters. And to be able to service those markets where, that main deck capability is key. Of course, in recent times, we've seen a lot of freighter main deck capacity come out of the market. So there is a shortage again, and we are very much focused on how we actually increase our freighter capacity going forwards. And we've got a number of things sort of in the pipeline as relates to that. But having that main deck capability is key in order for us to be able to, ensure that we continue to be relevant to our client base, our forwarding partners, because they need that mix of lower deck capacity as well as, of course, main deck capacity.
You also have Etihad has made an investment, or a letter of intent has been signed to purchase 5 A350 freighter. What are your thoughts on A350 freighter, and what's also your thought on the B777-8 freighter?
First of all, we currently operate and will continue to operate the 777-200 LRFs, which is an amazing freighter. The 350 freighter, without doubt, is going to be a great aircraft, an aircraft that certainly is going to compete with the 777. The 777X, 777-8 freighter rather, is going to be an incredible aircraft as well. Now, we've opted, as you said, to we have an LOI with Airbus, and we're going to take 5 350 freighters, which we're very excited about. We operate those aircraft types now on the passenger side. We actually started operating last month with 5 350-1000s, and we've got more to come. So there's obviously that commonality on the passenger side. So look, without doubt, both types are going to be great freighters, and we're very excited about the 350 freighters that we're going to take delivery of. The other exciting development, of course, has been the conversion now of the 777-300ER to the 777-300 ERSF. That's something that we continue to look at. We have some 777 300 in passenger form that could be good candidates for conversion. What's also a very exciting development is Etihad Engineering, so our maintenance arm, have entered into a partnership with IAI, and we'll be creating 2 conversion lines in Abu Dhabi, and they will come into operation, I think, Q2 or Q3 of next year. So we'll actually be converting 777s in Abu Dhabi, which is a really exciting development. And I think there's no doubt about it that the 777-300 ERSF is going to be a great freighter as well.
How many of them will that be converted to P2F?
In terms of what we're looking at the moment is potentially 4. Potentially 4, but that's something that's still being worked through.
Okay, and that's coming from your existing fleet.
Correct.
I'd like to end the conversation on the topic again, digitalization. You've been investing a lot into digitalization of your booking processes. Visibility, supply chain visibility has been a trending topic in the last 2 years. Tell us about some of the digitalization initiatives that you've been rolling out, both in terms of making booking very easy to your customers.
Yes, I mean, we started on our digitalization sort of program in 2018, so some time ago, and we made really good progress, and we know that digitalization is so important, and I think it's overall as an industry we've seen it sort of accelerate as a result of the pandemic as well. I think we've as an industry we've come a real long way. I mean, that's something I think we really lagged behind from the passenger side, but we've made great advances, and Etihad Cargo in particular, we've done some really great things in the last couple of years. An example is we've now got an enhanced sort of online booking tool, which we've seen now our online bookings increase now to 45%. So it's pretty incredible the growth we've seen in terms of that. We also work with a number of the third-party sort of online booking tools as well. And then also as well, just across the board, I think, just technology in general. It's, we've really focused on how we can enhance that. We're in the process of trialing some AI in terms of, which does this sort of automated dimension sort of checking of cargo and helps in terms of from a planning perspective, which means now it's very much automated in terms of the load planning, and what that's going to lead to is just much better optimization of our capacity. Where capacity continues to be at short supply, it's so important that you're optimizing whatever capacity is available to you. So from a digitalization perspective, it's been a key focus area for us for the last few years, and of course will continue to be in the coming years as well.
The last portion you're referring to your agreement, your announcement with the Speed Cargo.
Correct. Yeah. We're really excited about that initiative. We're in the process of trialing it now, and without doubt, it's going to add a huge amount of value to our business.
Martin, my final question: you got into the current role right in the midst of pandemic. How has been you enjoying your current role?
Yeah, loving it. I mean, after a 5-year sort of stint on the passenger side of the business, but always having been a cargo person, it was great to come back to the cargo industry. It's an industry that I love, and I think that if you look at what we've achieved as an industry during the pandemic, I mean, keeping the world moving, keeping supplies, be it medical, food, sort of moving around the world, sort of PPE movements. I think what we've done as an industry has been staggering, and I'm incredibly proud to be part of this industry. And it's great to be back on the cargo side of the business. I have dual responsibility. I'm also responsible for passenger sales as well, but cargo will always be very close to my heart, and it's great to be back in the industry again.
Thanks, Martin. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Great. Thanks, Randy.